This is the pilot control panel. It is the touch screen that you will see in front of you when you are sitting in the pilot seat of the cockpit at the Flight Academy. Let's look at the upper right-hand corner. This is your compass, and it is divided up into degrees. You will use the compass to ensure you are traveling at the correct heading. Heading is a direction or bearing. It is the degree that you will travel to effectively reach your target. Now, let's focus our attention to the center of the panel. In this cluster, we have the airspeed indicator on the left, the attitude indicator in the middle, and the altimeter, which is above sea level, at the right. You have seen that attitude indicator in prior slides. Think of the upside-down triangle as a fuselage, and the two horizontal lines to the right and the left as the wings. When those horizontal lines, or wings, are lined up with the artificial horizon, you are flying straight and level. The artificial horizon is the white line that cuts horizontally across the page. When your indicator is in the black, that means you are climbing. Think about it as a sky. When your indicator is in the green, you are descending. Think of that as the grass or the ground. Just below this cluster of instruments are two gauges. The one that says throttle measures the percentage of throttle you have engaged. The one below it measures the percentage of fuel remaining. Look to the lower left-hand side of the page. There you will see three more instruments. The one that says rudder position we have looked at in previous slides. When your rudder is pushed forward and your aircraft is yawing left, the indicator will display this on the control panel. When your rudder is pulled back and your aircraft is going right, the indicator will also display this information. Right below the rudder position indicator is the thrust control for when you are in VTOL or vertical takeoff and landing mode. This instrument allows you to make minute changes to your thrust when you are in VTOL mode. Below that is an outline of your aircraft. The blue arrows denote the direction your aircraft's thrust is facing. Right now, it is in normal cruise mode. If the blue arrows were facing downward at a 45-degree angle, your aircraft would be in STOVL, or short takeoff and vertical landing mode. If the blue indicators were facing directly downward, this means you are in VTOL, or vertical takeoff and landing mode. Let's look at the toggles at the bottom center and bottom right of the screen. First, you will see gear. When it is illuminated, that means your gears are down. When it is gray, that means your gears are up. Right below it is the air brake. Same goes for that, also with the parking brake. Now, engine shutdown will become illuminated once you have started your engine. Right now, the engine is not started. The engine start button will change from a yellow to a green, and then you'll see the capability of turning the engine off. The engine shutdown button will illuminate. If we look to the middle column, you'll see burner. That's the last 10% of your throttle when your aircraft is in normal cruise mode. Right below that is STOVL, or that short takeoff and vertical landing. This allows you to take off of shorter runways, such as on an aircraft carrier, and also to make precise movements in certain tactical missions. Below that is VTOL. That's vertical takeoff and landing. That's when the aircraft is directly capable of lifting straight off of the ground and landing straight down onto the ground. You will also need to use this function to execute some task during our missions. Now, you do have to dump half of your fuel, be below 240 knots, be in STOVL mode, and then get into VTOL mode. So let's go over that again. You have to dump half of your fuel, so your fuel percentage meter will say 50% or less. You have to be in STOVL mode already, and to get into that, you have to be below 240 knots, which you'll see on your airspeed indicator, and then you're able to enter VTOL mode to execute whatever you are trying to do during your mission. If we look on the far right-hand side, you'll see a box with hash marks. If you have any ordnance or are carrying any objects on board, this will show what they are. Right now, there's nothing. Right below that is a release button. You will use this to release the ordnance. Below that is a camera button. That'll take a snapshot of the screen in live action. Then directly below that is the fuel dump. When this is illuminated yellow or orange, it'll be engaged, and you'll see your fuel percentage start to drop. That's how you will dump fuel to be less than 50% so you can enter into VTOL mode. These are all of the pertinent controls on the pilot control panel that will successfully help you execute your mission.